Hey, hello. Welcome to the first ever live broadcast of Speak Freely. I am, of course, as always, Mr. Freely, along with my good friend, Mr. Speak. Just kidding. It's me, David B., along with my good friend, Kuno Stars. How are you, my dude?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Nervous, but I'm good, man. We'll
I
see how
haven't
this
seen,
goes.
yeah, I haven't seen you in a minute. How are you?
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah, it's been like weeks, right? Like
I think so.
two, three, two, three.
3 weeks. Yeah,
Yeah, most of October. I think when the last thing we filmed was Abby's episode, and that was like first week of October, right?
I think like within the first 5 days of October.
Yeah, dude, it has been like 2 to 3 weeks. Holy crap! How are you, man?
I'm good. I'm good. Uh, Not much has changed. Still working and still living, still healthy. So that's good.
I mean, I'm alive, I guess. So I've been all right, man. So still working, still breathing, still healthy too, thankfully. Um, but yeah, dude, we have a big episode today. Hopefully, people showed up because we really need help on this one,
Yeah,
especially
especially for
because
the subject matter. I was really hoping on leading on the audience today.
I really was hoping too. So we'll see if people slowly start to come in here. But we're talking about Tim Burton films today. Worst comes to worst, we'll just flip a coin, man. I'll get a nice coin somewhere.
All right, I'm sure
But we're
that.
there's an app for that. There's an app for everything, right? There's an
Yeah.
app for everything. But yes, today we are talking about Tim Burton films, specifically his top 9 films, according to
Yes.
Metacritic, right? In terms of critical success. And we are going to narrow it down to get the ultimate one to rule them all Tim Burton film, which is a little daunting for just us two. So let's see how it goes. For anyone who hasn't seen any of the other Filmtober Madness episodes, what we usually do is we'll choose a topic, right? In this case, Tim Burton. And then we'll go to Metacritic to get the accumulated like user score and critic score, and then we'll rank it from like obviously highest score to lowest score. We'll seed it, and then we do a bracket and do a seeding type of bracket, like March Madness style. So we've narrowed it down to 9 films with one play in, and
Mhm.
it's interesting, man. It's really interesting seeing the bracket that you came up with. I didn't do shit.
Well, I mean, they are your rules.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but it's your work, so
That is very true.
I'm just putting the blame on you the same way I did for the Disney princess movies because I don't want to get in trouble. Speaking of getting in trouble, you ready to jump into this?
Oh yeah.
All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you our bracket for Tim Burton films. We have the number 1 seed, surprisingly, Sweeney Todd, against the play-in of, this is interesting, Batman versus Batman Returns.
Only one
Um,
Batman can enter.
There's can only be one Batman. And then we have Frank and Weenie ranked at number 3 versus Beetlejuice at number 6. Edward Scissorhands at number 4 versus the number 5 seed Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And then finally, to finish off the first round, we have Corpse Bride surprisingly at seed number 2 versus Ed Wood at number 7. And this one's going to be probably the hardest one for us because we haven't seen Ed Wood. Spoiler alert. Neither of us have seen Ed Wood. So let's see what happens.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room.
Oh, dude,
Why?
why you gotta call me an elephant, bro?
There's an elephant in the room, and his name is David.
Yeah,
No. Obviously, so the one thing I think Tim Burton's mostly known for is Nightmare Before Christmas.
yeah,
Is that fair to say?
yeah. But it's like
Tim
he is.
Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. It's
Yep,
the biggest thing he's ever put out there. It's the most popular thing I think he's put
yep,
out there. We did not include it in our list because he did not direct it,
yep.
right? Nor did he actually write the script.
He just produced
It's
it.
his story idea and it's his characters, but he did not write the script nor did he direct it. It's directed by Henry Selick, written by Caroline Thompson, right? And both
Mhm.
Henry Selick and Caroline Thompson have also worked on, I think, like Corpse Bride and I think Coraline as well. So
Isn't he also known for Coraline, technically, right? But he has nothing to do with it.
I think he's like a producer or something. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. So Nightmare Before Christmas not on here, right? Because I mean, if I were to plant a watermelon seed, right, but then you, David, were the one who would water it and nurture it and give it life, whose watermelon is it?
It's mine, dude. That's
It's
my
yours,
watermelon.
which is fine because I hate watermelons, just like I hate Tim Burton. So let's get into it.
Oh boy. Listen, if you're watching this after the fact that we went live and you didn't jump in here to tell us how wrong we are, that's on you, buddy. That's on you. You should have made the time. It's a Friday night during the pandemic. But tomorrow's Halloween. Yes, but no going out, guys. We gotta, what did they say? We gotta, the curve, delete it, delete. Oh shit, wrong subject matter. All right, moving on.
I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, me neither. Let's keep going, man. All right.
do
I think it's only fair and it's only fitting. And this is gonna be interesting because it's just you and me right now, and we haven't filled out our brackets, so we're just gonna fight it and freestyle. Let's see what happens, man.
Yeah, I have not done a bracket, so
All right, man.
let's do it.
The play-in.
Start with.
We gotta do the play-in.
Oh, I guess so. All right.
Batman versus Batman Returns. And
Who
I
do you
have
remember?
I have strong feelings about both of these films. I remember as a kid liking the first Batman and being weirded out by Batman Returns a lot, specifically because the Penguin's not really the Penguin. You know what I mean? It's like a weird transformation by Tim Burton to make the Penguin like a monster, where in like the Batman cartoons, which I grew up with, and the Batman comic books, which I read, he's a gangster. He's not really like this weird, like rejected baby because he had some kind of malformed facial or like, you know what I mean? Like, but Tim Burton made him that in the movie, which I remember distinctly as a kid being like, but that's not Penguin. And then Catwoman 2, again, kind of made her into like this weird, kind of like resurrected monster because, again, in the comic book, she's like a burglar, she's a thief, like she grew up like as an orphan, so she has this thing about like stealing from the rich, but also occasionally giving to the poor. You know what I mean? So she's kind of like that weird anti-hero sometimes. You know,
almost like a greedy Robin Hood, right?
Almost, yeah, like a greedy Robin Hood is a great way to put it. But she's like badass, and she's like Batman's counterpart in a lot of different ways. And then in the movie, she's like a nerdy secretary who's like a little clumsy, and then she gets killed and she gets resurrected by cats biting on her and stuff. So it's like, I remember distinctly as a kid just being put off by that. So, and then as an adult now, having revisited these films, I don't like either or. I don't think either film really represents Batman to me personally.
Mm-mm.
I think maybe the first one gets kind of close, but even then it's like barely close. And you know, when these movies came out, I was a baby. Like Batman was like what, 89, 88, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't cognitive to know like what Batman was, let alone like it. I revisited these films like years later when I was like 4, 5, 6 with the animated series. And even then I remember not really liking the films that much. What about you?
More or less the same. I do remember having a lot of McDonald's toys of Batman, if that makes sense. I don't know if it's probably not for Batman Returns. It's probably for the later ones, the Joel Schumacher Batman, which are also not great.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
At least though, the Schumacher ones, yeah, they're not great, but at least they harken back to something that was Batman, aka in like the Adam West era, right? It's not great based on today's standard of what Batman is. And also, by the way, real quick, hi Nika, hello. Look, you're on the screen, and now you're off the screen. Boom. I have the power here. Look at me. Look at me. Reference.
I am the captain now.
I am the captain now. But yeah, but like, at least going back to my original argument, right? At least the Schumacher films like harken back to like that Adam West era, right? A little bit. They're not great, obviously, But to me, honestly, I know, hot take right now. Those movies to me are more enjoyable than watching Batman and Batman Returns, honestly. Because like Batman Forever is actually a decent film. Like he tried to do something different. It's kind of colorful. It has like a serious storyline with like the Riddler and Two Face in it. And Val Kilmer's an underrated Batman, I feel like. And then Batman and Robin's just fun to just like watch with your friends and hate watch it. You know what I mean? It's a fun
Mm.
time. You laugh at the shitty puns by Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze. Like
Oh yeah,
it's a terrible film, but it's like it's one of those
but it's
films
good.
that
It's
yeah, it's
so
so
bad, it's good.
exactly. Whereas like with Batman and Batman Returns, because I feel like they're made so earnestly, is why I have such a hard time with those films sometimes because I know they're made earnestly, and I'm just like, yeah, but it's not. It's like a weird take on Batman for me personally. So this is really tough. This is just the plan.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. Do you give it to Jack Nicholson? Do you give it to Michelle Pfeiffer? Like which villains do you? So one thing I will say about these Batman films is I think they get Bruce Wayne kind of right. You know, like Tim Burton himself is like this metaphor. He's become this metaphor for the isolated, brooding, like kind of
Yeah.
loner type, and that's what Bruce Wayne is. And I think
Mm.
that's the only aspect I feel like he maybe got right.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I guess. There's still a couple of moments though where it's like when in the first one when Bruce Wayne gets like the thing next to it, she's like, "You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts!" Like Bruce Wayne wouldn't do that. Like he's cool, calm, and collected. That's the persona, right? He's like the cool
Mhm.
bachelor, right? He would have disappeared. He wouldn't be like, "You want to get nuts?" So I don't know. Jack Nicholson is pretty cool in Batman. It's a pretty good performance because it's Jack Nicholson, right?
Mhm.
But it's Jack Nicholson. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know. It's kind of it's not particularly menacing to me, if
Mm.
that makes sense. And I've
Yeah.
always kind of grown up with like a menacing Joker. Like the comical stuff Jack does really well, but like the feeling of like true menace, like, oh, this guy's a psychopath. Like, you know what I mean? Like I never really get it from Jack Nicholson's
Right.
Joker.
Like he seems kooky, but not menacing. I get it.
Yeah. And he's also like a little cool, you know what I mean? And I think it's just Jack Nicholson being Jack Nicholson, who's like the cool gangster who just
Yeah.
happens to have a quirky thing for puns. You know? That's what it feels like. I know I'm actually glad no one's here now, besides Nika, because I don't think she cared. But I don't know. What do you guys think in the chat? All one of you. Nightbot, what do you think? I don't know. For real, if anyone has anything to say in the chat, what do you feel about Batman and Batman Returns while we decide which movie we're going with?
I think I'm gonna go with Batman Returns, only based on Michelle Pfeiffer.
Really? They're horribly they're horribly amazing. I love that comment. Yeah, they kind of are horribly amazing, I guess. It's definitely spectacle, something to see. Damn, this is hard. All right, you're gonna go with Batman Returns.
Yeah.
God damn it! It does have Michelle Pfeiffer, who's like I remember being like, whoa,
Damn.
that's a woman. You know what I mean? I remember that as a young man, boy. Uh, but also Kim Basinger in the first one's pretty
Mm,
right. She's in that first one, right?
yeah.
If I remember correctly. I think it comes down like which villain offends me the least. Oh man! All right, I'm gonna make Nika break this tie because I think I'm going with Batman. So that means it's time for a poll. Burr, 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 burr. New poll. Which movie advances? Is it Batman or is it Batman Returns? Bum bum bum. I'm gonna let the chat decide. Good luck, chat. All three of you, I guess it says. And there it goes. So we'll see what the chat says. Yeah, man, it's just it's not Penguin. Like if you want to do a new villain, do a new villain. Like I'm cool with that, but it's not it's not Penguin. You know what I mean? Like,
I
I don't
think you
know.
mean it's not Penguin.
Yeah, it's not my penguin.
It's not your pick. Got
It's
it.
not. It's not the penguin I grew up with. So we'll see what the poll says. But I think
Do you give him points for trying something new, or does he just fail miserably at it?
I don't like. It's not Danny DeVito's fault. He's definitely acting the crap out of that role. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
chewing up the scenery. Like he's having a good time in that role. I just like it's just the Tim Burtonness of it all was like I get what you're trying to do. Just call it literally anything else. Don't call it the penguin because it's not. It's just not the penguin.
Yeah, call it the walrus.
Yeah, call it Kevin Smith's Tusk, Mr. Tusk. You know what I mean? Literally anything else. All right. Well, we have our poll, and it looks like our chat agrees with you. Batman Returns is the #1 film, so it looks like that movie is advancing to the next round. I'm gonna make damn sure that's as far as it gets. I just
There we go.
at least
Batman
like
Returns.
at least like Jack Nicholson's Joker is kind of funny and a little wacky, which is like okay, that's kind of like that's Joker-esque, right? But like nothing about the Penguin and Bat, whatever. It won. I should shut up.
Yeah. Sit down. Shut up, David.
Fine.
No, don't do that. Then I'm by myself.
It looks like Nico agrees with you. All right, fine. You know what? Should I just go? Y'all just take over the show.
Yeah. Welcome to solo edition of Speak Freely.
Nope. No. I'm part of the show too. All right, we're moving on. We're moving on.
Let's start the bottom then, because
this should be easy.
Get out of the way, right?
I don't know who was here at the beginning of this, but spoiler alert, neither one of us has seen Ed Wood. So guess what we're voting for? Ed Wood, you got it.
Yeah. Okay, so I have not seen Ed Wood, but I did a little bit of research, watched some videos of people talking about Ed Wood, and it sounds like it's actually a pretty good movie.
Okay.
So do you know anything about Ed Wood?
No.
Let me give you a little bit of history based on Wikipedia, okay?
All right.
So Ed Wood was this director from the 1950s.
Uh-huh.
He's classically known as the worst director ever because he made these like B films, like monster movie kind of films. His very first film was kind of autobiographical. It's called Glenn or Glenda. It's basically about him and his propensity for dressing in women's clothing.
Nice.
Right, which in the 1950s was kind of a no-no. But
it was a big no-no in the 1950s, yeah.
Yeah. But he loved it, and he made a film based on it. And then he went on to do other films that were like Plan 9 from Outer Space is like an alien invasion movie. What else? Jailbait is another one. I don't know much about that one. But so this is an autobiographical. It's a biopic, basically, right? About Ed Wood, who is just as weird as Tim Burton. And I can see why Tim Burton is fascinated by this person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it stars Johnny Depp, very young Johnny Depp from
of course it does.
1993, 1994. And based on all accounts, like it's basically he does a scene by scene reenactment of Ed Wood's movies, but he shows different perspectives of it, right? Like he shows the director Ed Wood like reciting all of the lines. He shows people like watching it in the theaters and then getting their reactions to it. And it seems like it'd be fun. I don't know. I'm not inclined to watch though because I just don't necessarily like Tim Burton.
We're not entering this with any bias whatsoever. No bias here.
No, but it seems like it could be a good watch. Like it's really indulging in that like weird B film like movie magic that was like in the 1950s to the 1960s, where all you needed was a really weird concept, an aging movie star,
Uh,
and some really good advertising.
I mean, it sounds fascinating, but I've never seen it, nor up to this point have ever really heard about it. So
It's
my
one of his
vote is.
forgotten, yeah, because it's not. It's like the least Tim Burton film you could find. You
So
know,
that means you'll probably like it.
probably.
Wow, this is actually really good.
Yeah.
But
Where were you when you first watched Corpse Bride?
that's a good question. I think I originally watched it when it first came out on movie release. I rented it somewhere, and I remember liking it. And then I recently rewatched it a couple of weeks ago, and I really like it. It's like a spoopy movie, but it's like children's kind of spoopy because it's like very creepy. It has like weird things in it, but it's like also kind of adorable in a weird way, right? So like the story of the Corpse Bride, for anyone who doesn't know, it's like this guy. He's
Spoiler
a
alert.
yes, spoiler alerts. It's this guy. He's in an arranged marriage and he's about to get married the next day, right? And he's like very nervous. He's having trouble reciting his vows and etc. So he goes off into the woods one day, reciting his vows, and he accidentally puts the ring on the finger of a corpse bride named Emily. And so she takes him underground into the afterlife, and crazy antics ensue, and there's song and dance, and it's a little creepy. There's a murder mystery in it somehow, which is really like, well, it's kind of dark for a children's film, but there it is, folks. Obviously, it stars the voices of like Johnny Depp and Helen Bonham Carter, right? I think is her name. And
His wife.
yeah, and it's actually it's a sweet, nice film, right? If you compare it obviously to like Nightmare Before Christmas, it pales a little bit in comparison, obviously, but like it's like it's Tim Burton's directed stop animation type of film, or claymation, I guess, and I really liked it. I thought it was really good. So, and I haven't seen Ed Wood, so so if we had, does the audience care one way or the other?
Put up a poll.
Yes, put up a poll, guys. Who do you want to win, Corpse Bride or where's the poll button? Oh, here it is. Oh no, I did the wrong thing. New poll. Which one advances now? Is it Corpse Bride or the well-known movie Ed Wood? Vote now. Time's running out.
So Corpse Bride came out 2005, like end of 2005. Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, I love drag, but
So end of 2005, which was our senior year,
yeah.
I saw it in theaters with Esperanza and Yvette.
Oh my god.
Do those names ring a bell?
No,
No.
I don't remember those names at all.
So for those at home, those are some characters from our high school days.
Yeah. Oh, characters. That's putting it mildly. Like one of them was my. Is it fair to say, obsessive ex?
I think that's very fair.
I think it's very fair, right? I'm not trying to drag anyone's name under the mud, so I'm not going to say which one of those two was my obsessive ex in high school. But we dated for like 3 months, and she wouldn't stop bugging me to get back with her all of senior year, which kind of made senior year a little unbearable for me. And Brian can attest to that because have we told that? We've told that story before on the podcast, right? Have we?
I'm not sure.
You could say it because you say it so poetically, and I don't remember this at all.
So obsessive ex-girlfriend.
Yes.
Just really, really would not quit, right? Bugging David, please get us back together. I'll do whatever you want. I'll do anything.
Dude, it would get to the point where she would legit come over my house when I was like in band practice and like talk to my mom, try to convince her to convince me to get back with her. Just so everyone knows where I was at senior year and why I was like, go ahead, Brian. Oh wait, what?
Oh,
No, that's way after high school. That's way after high school.
oh, I do not know this one. Okay,
After the podcast.
all right.
Late night speak freely. Dropping
Anyway,
all the
so
tea.
I guess she must have worn you out because you ended up agreeing to go to prom with her,
Yeah, I did.
and then I don't remember exactly when or where we had this conversation, but you came to me and were like, I really don't want to go with her. Like, I really don't want to go, and I don't know how to like let her know. And so I eventually ended up talking to her right outside of the locker room area. I remember exactly where I was standing.
Oh my god.
And I told her, listen, I know you're going to prom with David, but there might be somebody who would want to go with you and is waiting to ask you if you were available.
What a
And
good friend. What a great friend.
she said, oh, really? Who is that? And I was like, I cannot tell you because as of right now, you are not available. She said, okay. And she went off on her merry way. And I guess she broke it off with David and ended up going to prom with somebody else. Even though I think that she thought it
I'm
might
pretty
have
sure
been
she thought it was you. I'm pretty sure the way you were back then, you probably convinced her it was you. Dude,
probably.
I was gonna say number one, honestly, you're a great friend. Number two, I was such a bitch at senior year. I should just told her straight up, like, I just don't want to go with you. Like, sorry. But
You know, high
you
school.
see,
High school.
I didn't want to hurt her feelings because I'm a very nice guy. Nah, I was a bitch. I was too much of a coward to be like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to go with you. Find someone else. Bye.
Oh my! I do remember one time we were having like a game night or
That
something.
was I
Or
remember. Yeah, I remember that
yeah.
because I was legit. That was like winter break. I remember that
Uh,
because I was legit fed up by that point. Like I was fucking done. It was like legit chat. It was nonstop. Just like it's like I love you. Get back. It's like dude, like non like ugh. And I remember
and then a
that.
couple months later, you said, "Yeah, I'll go to prom with you."
I see. I don't remember doing that. I'm not
So
saying I'm not capable of doing that because I totally am. I just don't remember.
yeah,
I legit don't remember. But
I
you're
in all honesty, though, I wish her well. I hope she's doing fine.
yeah.
High school was a long time ago. I would
If
hope
you're
that she.
if you're watching this,
Well,
I doubt she is. I sincerely doubt she keeps up with any of us at all. Like I'm pretty sure uh we were terrible people to her.
oh yeah, 100%.
But
And I apologize if you are watching. I am sorry.
yeah, I'm sorry too for not, just being a human being about it.
So, anyways, that said, I pick corpse spray.
Moving on. uh the things we say live. This is not edited. I'm not gonna edit this. Are you gonna edit this?
No, leave
No,
it all.
we're just gonna upload it on YouTube. Like it is what it is. Boom, here it is. Just in all its glory. All right, I guess we should go to Edward Scissorhands versus Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay.
And I'll let you start off this one.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, I'm not a big fan of Tim Burton. I'm equally not a big fan of Johnny Depp.
No bias here.
No. With that said, though, I think Johnny Depp in Edward Scissorhands is much better than Johnny Depp in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, by like 1,000 miles.
Oh yeah, I think Edward Scissorhands. He's coming off of 21 Jump Street, right? He's like this teen idol, and he gets a chance to kind of stretch his acting chops and do something completely opposite. And I think he he enjoyed it, right? And it kind of shows in his performance that he kind of really like buys into the character. By the time he gets to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I think he's already kind of become a parody of himself. Like he's so far up his ass that he's like, I can do whatever I want and no one's gonna stop me. And he does this really horrible, horrible portrayal of Willy Wonka.
It's not good. Nothing about that film. I'm look, when you made this bracket, I was like, I can't believe out of all the films he's made, that one is on there. Like I was expecting like Big Fish to make it on there because that movie, I feel that movie's really great with Ewan McGregor. But Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, out of all the films, what the hell is wrong with people? I'm shook. I'm legit shook that there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing I like about the film. Like that one kid actor who was like in Finding Neverland with him is great in it, and he's great in Finding Neverland. But this movie, and bleh. Bleh.
Yeah. I also think it's funny that like
our one fan agrees.
So like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, like with Gene Wilder, that's mostly about like Charlie's point of view, right? And then Charlie and the Chocolate Factory seems like it's mostly about Willy Wonka's point of view. And I just wanted to point that out because I thought it was interesting that Tim Burton decided to make this film not about Charlie and more about Willy Wonka.
Yeah, the rich white dude who has it all compared to the poor kid trying to like get by with his family. Interesting take.
Although, I mean, the fact that Charlie decides to go back with his family as opposed to with Willy Wonka kind of says a lot about Willy Wonka's character.
Yeah, that he's a terrible human being.
And
there was nothing redeeming about his character in the movie too. Like I hated Willy in that movie. I hated him. I was like, good. I wouldn't want to be with him either. Like, it's just.
So do we need to put up a poll?
I'm not gonna bother with it. Edward Scissorhands. Next. I mean, if anyone protests, put it in the comment section. But I honestly don't care. I'm sure no one does. I'm sure between Scissorhands and Chocolate Factory, no one's like, dude, Chocolate Factory is this low-key banger. Like, no. It's garbage. Exactly. It is hot garbage. Next fight, Frankenweenie versus Beetlejuice. Now, this one actually is a little hard for me because I actually remember thoroughly enjoying both films. I like the story of like, it's like Frankenstein retold, right? It's like this kid who resurrects his dog, and it's a very sweet film, but it's also like, it's Frankenstein, but like told in like a very like nice, childish kind of way. You know what I mean? It's like it's a kid and his dog passes away, and the kid resurrects his dog, and obviously the neighborhood doesn't like that because it's like he's a monstrosity, he should be dead, and blah blah blah. And Beetlejuice is like quintessential Tim Burton, right? Like,
yeah,
like it's everything about Tim Burton that we know and love, or in Brian's case, know and hate. It's like it's what made Tim Burton Tim Burton. It's what made him the name that he is today. I feel like is like that movie. It's quintessential.
I feel like maybe Edward Scissorhands is that.
I would disagree. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure Beetlejuice came afterwards, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was Batman, Edward Scissorhands, Batman Returns, and then Beetlejuice.
Yeah. And Beetlejuice is so weird. Like it is gothy, it's creepy, it's a little horrific, it's weird, it's kind of funny because Michael Keaton in it does a brilliant performance.
Michael Keaton is fantastic in it.
He's so good in it, and it's so weird because again, like considering all the films he came, like obviously Batman is like a big one. I'm pretty sure Duplicity came out before this, right?
I'm not sure.
I think I am. If anyone wants to correct me, they probably can. No one will, but if they want to, they can. But it's like he up to
damn it.
Yeah, up to this point, it's like he's taking on very like quote unquote normal roles, right? It's like he's a dude, right? And in this one, he's just wacky, and it works. Like he's really chewing up the scenery. He really goes for it. And I really like him for that. I like Frankenweenie. I like the I'm a big sucker for like claymation stop motion stuff. Like I love like Kubo and the Two Strings, and like Frankenweenie and like Caroline Nightmare Before Christmas, all those movies.
Robot Chicken.
Robot Chicken, I love that show. I legit, dude, French Kiss, that show is splendid. But it's a modern, a little watered down in the sense of like for kids story of Frankenstein's monster, essentially. Whereas like Beetlejuice, like it's weird, it's creepy, it's a little horrific, it's funny, it's like a complete original idea from Tim Burton. So that's why for me, I choose Beetlejuice. But Brian,
My only issue with Frankenweenie is that it's a combination of two of his short films, right?
mm-hmm.
One of them called Frankenweenie, right? He made a short film about a dead dog who comes back to life, and then his other short film is an animation film called Vincent.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of takes that character Vincent and places him as like Frankenstein, who brings back the dog Frankenweenie. And it's not as good as the two short films, I think. So for me it falls a little bit short. It was fun to watch, especially the fact that like it's animation. And Tim Burton started as an animator for Disney, right? I think he worked on Little Mermaid, I want to say. But Beetlejuice is amazing. Like I remember being maybe like 8 or 9 and seeing Beetlejuice for the first time and being both like scared and and laughing like at the same time. It was just really weird.
Yeah, I remember that too, being like Beetlejuice is funny, but the world he lives in is scary.
Yeah. And then it spawned off into this animated cartoon that I really loved. I loved watching Beetlejuice.
You know how good Beetlejuice is? There's a horror rock show at Universal Studios.
Oh my gosh, I remember watching that.
That's still going on today. That's how good Beetlejuice is and was. So
well, it's not on right now.
I mean, no, because it's COVID, but once you can go to Universal Studios, that show's there. Unless they took it off already, which I don't know. I haven't been there in a while, but
I'm not too sure. But I do remember one specific joke in the beginning where the main Beetlejuice character comes out and gives someone a high five and he goes, "Thanks. I had to wipe my booger somewhere."
yeah. Works every time. Got him. So Beetlejuice,
Mini, got it.
Don't you dare. I will quit this broadcast right now, good sir. Does the chat want to chime in, Nika? Since you're our esteemed guest, Beetlejuice or Frankenweenie? It doesn't matter because we overvote you regardless. She says, "Oh, that's nice, but between the two films, Frankenweenie or Beetlejuice?" It was right there. I had to. I'm sorry. Yeah, Beetlejuice. All right. Brian, kick us off for this next one.
All right, we got Sweeney Todd versus Batman Returns. Thumbs down on both the films, even Sweeney Todd. Are you not a musical guy?
You want me to kick it off?
No, I'm just asking. Are you a musical guy?
Dude, of course. I love musicals. The music nerd in me loves musicals. So
Sweeney Todd, I watched for the first time while I was in Peru, in Cusco, on the first night in the hotel. I could not sleep. And the only thing on TV that was not in Spanish was Sweeney Todd.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I was 21 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily like the biggest. I wasn't really open to the idea of like experiencing culture for culture's sake yet. I thought it was great to be in Peru and experience like where my family came from and got to know family and got to know like my parents' home and their streets. And then we go off to Cusco and we get to see Machu Picchu. And I lament the fact that I don't appreciate it as much as I did, right? But Sweeney Todd is one of the things that really stood out to me because it was like the one thing in English where I was like, oh, I kind of feel at home now.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
Yeah. And I thought it was okay. I mean, I liked the music. The music was great. The visuals were Tim Burton, 100% Tim Burton. Dark, broody. You got your loner monster character. Um, but it was interesting. Um, that said, I think I enjoyed it more than Batman Returns overall.
Yay. I love Sweeney Todd. I remember watching it when it first came out and being like, "Whoa, this is actually really good." I love the aesthetic of like Sweeney Todd's world's always gray, but the most vibrant color in it is blood. You know what I mean? I like that aesthetic of like the red versus the gray aspects of everything. I love the music. I did not mind Johnny Depp's voice or Helen's voice in it either. Um, and I like the storyline. It's a simple storyline about revenge and how revenge like isn't good for anybody. It just ends up hurting more people, including the ones seeking it. You know what I mean? It's just like a good like moral. It's like a very basic moral type of like drama musical or whatever. But I really like the music. I really like the characters in it. I like the acting in it, and I definitely like it more than Batman Returns. So Sweeney Todd is getting my vote.
I vote as well.
Sweet. Real quick, Nika says, having been in the same music program as me in undergrad, she's ashamed to say she still has not seen Sweeney Todd. I would urge you, good madam, go watch it. It's actually cool. It's actually really good. It's like I think it's really good. It is a radar film. There is a lot of hacking and slashing of the throats. But if you don't mind that, it's got some good tunes in it. The cinematography I think is really great. You will be pleasantly surprised by how not terrible Johnny Depp is in singing. So go watch it. I highly recommend it. I think it's good.
One thing I did like was the juxtaposition of like when Sweeney Todd was like with his wife and he was happy. There was a lot of color,
a lot of vibrant color, and then every time he's in his present, it's always just gloomy and dark and gray. Yeah. Even when there's light, even the light somehow is gray, which I think is really unique. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing too with like Helen Carter's character when she starts envisioning a future with him. Again, it's just vibrant colors, but every time they're in their present, because he's so hell bent on revenge, it's just constant gloom and gray, which I think was very unique.
Yeah. So shout outs to the cinematographer of Sweeney Todd.
Whoever you were.
Whoever you were.
We're not looking it up. Alrighty. Well, we're just trucking through. Here we are on round 2, baby. Burr, 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 burr. I need an air horn sound effect. No, we don't. I'm doing a pretty good job. We have Sweeney Todd versus Beetlejuice, Edward Scissorhands versus Corpse Bride. So, Brian.
Start at the bottom.
Start at the bottom?
Mm-hmm. Corpse Bride versus Edward Scissorhands.
I am legit going to put a poll up for this one because we already know what we think, I think, for the most part. So we're going to see which one advances to the finals. Edward Scissorhands. And what was the other one?
Corpse Bride.
Corpse Bride. Whoa.
So 2 very different films. I mean, other than the fact that one's animated and one's not, I think the messages are very different, right? Corpse Bride, like the bride herself is the one who kind of does the transformation, right? It's kind of her journey. I know like Victor is like technically the main character, right? It's the audience point of view, right? Because you're human going into the underworld. And so you're kind of seeing the world through Victor's eyes. But the bride herself, Emily, is the one who goes through the journey of like learning something and kind of growing from this experience.
I would also say real quick to interject, Victor kind of goes through a journey too, because at the beginning of the film he's very like clumsy, he's very shy, he's very like drawn back from everything, and by the end of the film he's a lot more self-assured and confident based on what he went through that night. I feel
that is true. Actually, you make a good point.
It's very much a film about transformation for sure.
but the film's called Corpse Bride. So,
Yeah.
if you will just let me finish.
No.
No,
All right, like
but
I'll do you this favor. Like, check this
Mhm.
out, bro.
Oh, I do like that. I can't hear anything you're saying. It's wonderful. No, that's horrible. You should unmute yourself. Um, but I was like, Emily Goes to Strasbourg, where she kind of learns to like let go and and be at peace. And then Edward Scissorhands is more about. I mean, I guess it's about a monster being at peace, but like he doesn't really let go of anything. Like the world forces him into isolation, and he has to learn to be happy with that. And I think it's very different as a where Emily gets to choose to let go, and Edward has to be forced into accepting that he needs to let go of society.
Mm-hmm. I can see that the juxtaposition of like having to let go, and I guess Victor, in a way, having to give in a little bit.
Mm,
I could see that. I don't know, but for me though, personally, it's like Victor always gave off the notion as a character that like all his life has been carefully planned for him, even up to the point of like his marriage. But it's like the one decision that he actually makes, right? Because he legitimately decides to marry the corpse bride, right? But she's the one that lets him go for the greater good of him, because she ultimately did, even though it was one night, she ultimately did care for him in some way. And Victor was like, for the first time, I'm going to go through my words. I'm going to make sure I keep my promise to Emily. And at the end, because Emily's like, you already did, and she lets him go and stuff like that, it's like a transformation from both of them through just one event. It's also a murder mystery. Emily
Murder
got
mysteries
killed.
are fun.
Yeah, murder.
All right. So, what's your final vote?
This is hard, because Edward Scissorhands 2 is like, right?
It's a
It's like
classic, right?
it's a classic. It's the classic, like, oh, Edward's the monster, but he's not really the monster. That guy over there is the monster, right? The jockey dude in
Mhm.
that film. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a very like it's a dark film, and it's like sweet, and it's weird, and it's like it's like the beginnings of like quintessential Tim Burton that we all kind of wish he would go back to now, because what he does now is just doesn't really have the heart it used to have, the way like Edward Scissorhands and Beetlejuice and like Big Fish have. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
all the movies he's made now, like it's very clearly like Tim Burton esque, like in terms of the visuals and the scenery and what have you. But in terms of like the heart and stuff, it doesn't have it the way like this film has.
No,
Edward
and I
Scissorhands.
think it just has to do a lot with where he is in his life. Where in
Mm-hmm.
the beginning, like he grew up feeling isolated. He grew up feeling like the monster that was different, and so he wanted to show that those kinds of characters have a soul. They have a heart. Whereas now, like Tim Burton is this huge brand, right? And he's widely accepted by just millions and millions of people. Like he's beloved by many. And
Yeah.
so I feel like he just doesn't have that longing to like want to express himself the way he used to.
Mm-hmm.
Because you look
Yeah.
at films like Alice in Wonderland and Dumbo
Not
and
good. This
Charlie and
just
the Chocolate Factory, right? It's
very
very
hollow, very
yeah.
hollow films. Like very like yeah, it's just hollow films. It's like it's him, but it's not him at the same time. It's weird. It's weird to
It's a
explain.
shell of himself.
Yeah, it really is a shell of himself. Uh, yeah, it does kind of feel like Corpse Bride was kind of like the end of an era for him, almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because what he did after that, like yeah, what did he do after that? So yeah, oh man, this one's really tough for me. I genuinely really enjoy both films for what they are. I think I think I might give the edge a little bit to Corpse Bride, just because I feel it's a little more accessible than Edward Scissorhands, and also it's got musical numbers in it.
Mhm.
So And also too, the visuals are just stunning. Not that Edward Scissorhands doesn't look good either. I'm a big fan of animation in all its forms. So I think I give the slight edge to Corpse Bride for this one.
As do I, because like you said, animation is a big part of like
Yeah.
my viewing experience in films, and I think it's actually really well done.
I think it actually is really well done too. So let's see what if the poll shows us anything. And ooh, the poll shows Edward Scissorhands
Oh,
in the lead. Unfortunately, though,
should I take it back?
no, because our voices are the mains in this storyline. Sorry. Edward Scissorhands is good though too. Like it's literally by a hair I give it to Corpse Bride. By a hair. And it's just literally because it's animation, there's musical numbers in it. That's literally the little bit of the edge that movie gets over this. So yeah. Sorry.
This is how the audience feels.
Our audience. Our beautiful loyal supportive audience. All right, for the semifinals, Sweeney Todd versus Beetlejuice, and I'm gonna make you vote first on this one, Brian.
Oh.
We all know what we think about both of these films, but why are you giving the edge to whoever you ultimately choose?
I think I'm going with Beetlejuice because of Michael Keaton and his performance. But also, it like I said, it spawned the animated cartoon show that I absolutely love to watch. Also, also one of my favorite shows, Community, has this very subtle joke where they said Beetlejuice 3 times throughout, I think, 2 different seasons, and then just in the background you see Beetlejuice walking by, and it's like no one mentioned anything, no one said it, but like if you're paying attention to the show, it's a neat little like, oh, so wonderful. And you can't have that without Beetlejuice. So
Beetlejuice.
All
right, I'm gonna let the audience vote before me. So audience, just type it in the chat. What movie do you think? Sweeney Todd or Beetlejuice? And while you do that, I'm gonna take a sip of my whiskey. Beetlejuice? Dude, audience votes Beetlejuice, so it doesn't matter what I think. Beetlejuice is going to the finals. I would have chosen Beetlejuice too, though, if I'm being honest. Not that it matters. Ultimately, Brian and our audience, and it's just Nika. Brian and Nika pulled Beetlejuice to victory for the finals, and now we have our finals. Wow, we've been chomping away at this for an hour, and now we have our finals. Brian, tell the audience what the finals are.
In our finals, we got the Corpse Bride versus the Beetlejuice.
The Beetlejuice
finals.
And honestly, I honestly think we have a clear-cut winner, but what do you think?
I think we should let the audience pick first.
I think we should let the audience pick first too. Audience, this is it. This is your big moment, Nika. You get the first vote. Beetlejuice or Corpse Bride for top film?
I'm going to need a 5-page essay describing why.
Citations and everything, and footnotes. And make sure the margins are just 1 inch each. Don't you dare 1.5. Beetlejuice. Yes. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's Beetlejuice, man. Like, I love Corpse Bride. I love it for what it is, but like, it's Beetlejuice, man. Brian?
I mean, so I will say the bonds I formed with the person watching Corpse Bride with is the thing that led me to having her trust enough to break up you and her for prom.
I take it back. Corpse Bride for helping me escape
Corpse
prom.
Bride, it would not be possible. But I you got to go with Beetlejuice. Just
got to. That is like literally quintessential Tim Burton, right? Like
it's everything. It's Tim Burton.
It's peak Burton.
It's the visuals, the monster, the heart behind the monster,
The
all of
humor,
it.
the horror, yeah, everything. It's like everything goes downhill after that, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
Peaks and valleys,
Mm.
peaks and
Are you
valleys.
are you ready for the Beetlejuice remake?
Oh, there's a remake in the works, really?
I don't know if it's a remake or if it's a sequel, but they're working on something.
I think I heard it was a sequel, not a remake.
Sequel. Okay.
I'm iffy. Like, if it's just another, like, if Tim Burton's behind it and it's another, like, cash grab, ugh,
Hmm.
it's gonna tarnish that movie so bad. But if he legit has a legitimate story he's passionate about, and he's like, I gotta make this film, it could be good. It could be the movie that finally, like, ignites that spark under Tim Burton again. But I am just given the track record, man, of all the movies he's done lately. Granted, it's been like he's just been hired as like a director. It's not really something he was passionate about, like Alice in Wonderland and like Dumbo and all that stuff. Low expectations, very low. So that way I'm not disappointed, and if it's good, I'm pleasantly surprised. You know what I mean? But what do you think? What do you think of that, real quick?
I think it's a cash grab. I'm not looking forward to it at all.
It kind of does smell of like money. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I hope it's good. If they
I
get
don't know.
Michael Keaton back, I don't think he'd come back for just anything. You know what I mean? Like,
For a little boo boo movie.
it has to be good, right? I feel like he's at that age where he's comfortable as an actor and secure enough financially. He's like, I just do what I want. You know what I mean? So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Academy Award nominated Michael Keaton. So we'll see. But at any rate, ladies and gentlemen, our top Tim Burton film of all time. This is definitive. We own the internet. So now, from now on, the internet has to proclaim Beetlejuice is Tim Burton's best, most top film of all time. Guys, let's give ourselves a round of applause. We did it. There we go. Golf claps. Circly golf claps. Wow, we did it. And this caps off our month of Filmtober. It's been a wild month.
It's been a fun month. I've actually loved this format. I think it's a lot of fun.
I think it's really fun too. I think obviously our episodes like Janine and Rachel and Abby were really great. Little peek behind the curtain. What do you think? Should I give the audience a little peek behind the curtain?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
They're here live. They should be
You know
able
what?
to.
Yeah, the ones who are here live get the peek behind the curtain.
We'll edit this out later.
Yeah, we originally asked Corruption, for all of you that don't know, Corruption, the former tag team champions of the Movie Trivia Schmodown, Mike Kalinowski, Chance Ellison, and Shannon, but for whatever reason, they just never got back to us. So that's the way it is. So yeah, Thrawn, did you guess Beetlejuice would be number one? Did you really? You know what, Brian? Redacted. Put Corpse Bride on just to make Thrawn wrong. But yeah, and you know, it's all good. Life happens, and yeah, so we just decided, like, why not make it live? Let's see if anyone would be interested in it. And I don't know, I had fun. I think maybe in the future, maybe we should do this next time on our YouTube channel. Maybe my vote, yeah, Nico's vote definitely mattered. Your vote definitely mattered, especially in that semifinal. Definitely mattered. It always matters. Your voice matters. Always and forever. No, what's the word I'm looking for? No bullshit. Whatever. I'll be crass.
No cap.
Yeah. So, but yeah, this was fun, man. Let's do it again. We should definitely do maybe not a whole month of Filmtober, but definitely an episode sprinkled here and there.
Twice a week, though.
Yeah, every other week Filmtober. It's not. Definitely plan a live episode way in advance next time.
Oh yeah.
But circumstances. So give us a break, man. We improvised. We jazzed it up, baby.
Yeah. But I mean, all things considered, I think it went pretty well.
I think it went pretty well too. I had fun, and I hope Thrawn, who's here, and Nika, who's been here the whole time, I hope you guys had fun with us too. Real quick, Brian, we did it. So let the people know where they can find you, and check this out. Look what I can do when you do that. Oh, it's all you, baby.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You can find me on Instagram at Kuno_stars.
Awesome. And you can find me at DavidBMusic21 on both Twitter and Instagram. Obviously, this is my YouTube channel. So if you haven't, click that follow button at the bottom right there. And if you have the means, I would appreciate a sub. You can use my emotes. I'm live every Wednesday and Sunday, either playing music, making music, or playing video games, which has music in it sometimes. So please check that out. Also, you can catch our podcast at Speak Freely Pod on both Instagram and Twitter. This video will be uploaded later on our YouTube channel. And if you want, you can listen to some episodes on audio on Anchor FM, wherever you get your podcasts, minus iTunes podcast because they're being weird about it. Did I miss anything?
Well, I think you got it all.
I got it in one breath, man. Oh, God. I think the only thing that's left, thanks. Oh, you know what? Thrawn says something. What constitutes a Thanksgiving film, though?
Charlie Brown is a Thanksgiving film, right?
Ooh, there's one. We need at least 8 to make it like a legit bracket.
Medea Thanksgiving, is that a thing?
It probably is. Wasn't one of the Home Alones during Thanksgiving, or is it only Christmas?
No, I think it's only Christmas.
It's only Christmas? Damn it. I can't think of any good Thanksgiving films.
We'll do some research.
Yeah, we'll Google it. Or we'll Jeeves it later. For Speak Freely, I am David B.
I am Kuno Stars.
And we will see you next time. Wait. Children of the Corn. Is that a Thanksgiving film? a killer turkey movie? Is there?
The Chicken Run? Does the Chicken Run count?
There's corn in it. All right, we gotta end this. This is getting silly now. All right, guys, that's been an episode. We appreciate you guys being here for our first ever live episode. Thank you guys so much. For sure, we'll probably do this again. I had a lot of fun. Brian?
Tons of fun.
Tons of fun.
That's not even sarcastic.
all the fun.
All
the fun, guys. And we will see you next time. Make sure you're caught up to date, 'cause we'll be dropping more episodes next week. Until then. And